So, yeah, the last couple of days have been absolutely manic. So, yesterday was spent sending off the tax forms, because when you're self employed, you need to do these kinds of things. And then today was spent sorting out a few little bits as well. So, that was also quite fun. Tomorrow, we have got a Topic Tuesdays podcast recording. What is going on, people? Today is Thursday, the 1st of February, and it is 7 minutes past 8 currently. Today, we are on a podcast shoot. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me for the ride so you can see everything that goes into these podcast shoots. Right now, I've got the two, if you can see. So here, I've got the two A6400 batteries charging currently. One of them's fully charged, the other one's almost fully charged. We've got the A6400 here. I'm filming on the second camera, the A6600. This is the only issue with this one because the batteries don't last as long as the A66. Because it's got the older Sony battery. I think it's which one is it? I'll tell you now. The MPFW50s. I think on 4K recording, as long as you haven't got anything else plugged into the camera, which is draining power, you get about an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes of 4K recording, which for most podcasts is more than enough. But the podcast that we're shooting today, Topic Tuesday, doesn't quite cut the cake really. And the last thing I want to be doing is paying for someone to recover over an hour's worth of footage, because if they don't have a reference piece of footage as well, they can't recover it. So there's multiple things that can go wrong if you haven't got a backup battery, or you're not plugged into a power supply, should I say, as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing today. Obviously, I haven't really vlogged or shown much of this week because nothing's really gone on. Monday, didn't really do anything. I'm just gonna finalize a few things in regards to making sure that the shoot runs as smoothly as possible. So the first thing is making sure that the what I prepped last night in the Notion board with the template checklist that I have for shoots, just making sure that that has transferred over onto my MacBook Notion. So I don't have to re-go through all of that. Once I'm in my Notion board, I go to clients, and once I'm in my client section, there are 4 sections inside of that. So there's podcast clients, then there's another one called RCP clients, which is regular content plan clients. So that's like promo videos, behind the scenes videos, event footage, things like that, social media content. Anybody that wants things like that, they fall under that RCP the RCP section. Then we've got website design clients. So that's what I was finalizing yesterday. A few little things need to be tweaked and changed, but we're flying with that. And then we've got ad management client section as well. As I've said previously, I used to run ads before I got into podcast production and videography properly. So I still do a bit of ad management every now and again. It's not something that I actively push and promote too much. I am working on a project that I want to do to push that side, but it'll be focused more on digital products as such, rather than the paid ads and management side of things, just because the way the world is gone with that whole side of the world, not side of the world, with that industry, sorry, there's not a real need for for a company to be managing your paid ads, especially at a lower level. If you're just starting, or you're spending any less than £5 a month, £10 a month, you don't really need somebody managing your paid ads for you. If you've got a good understanding and a grasp of what's working, how the platform works, and how you can improve your results to see better ROI basically. So you might be able to tell the difference in the mic quality for a little bit. Just because I'm currently charging the other wireless mic that I use, my little fluff ball. So yeah, right now I'm literally getting the other mics and then can carry on with what else we need to do and get out. Yeah, take you to there. Okay, so I'm currently in the process of, I will be getting Hollyland mic, either Hollyland or Rode mics. Maybe not Rode mics actually, because I saw a review on them the other week in regards by someone called, someone on TikTok who does a lot of video editing, and she was talking about how the backup, if it goes wrong, you can't use the app. You've got to use an app to edit or access things on it, and that's just a pain. That's a ball ache. So I probably won't go for the Rode wireless go-tos, and everyone uses them. I'm very tempted to lean more towards getting the Hollylands or the DJI mics. I'm not too sure yet. So at the minute, just for the spare backup, we're just using cheap, cheerful wireless mics that we got off Amazon. So we use those for a backup. We've got a Rode shotgun, and then like I said, we've got the Rode pod mics for additional audio as well. Not additional audio, the main audio. So we're going to make sure these are fully charged now, so they don't cut out during recording, because that'll be a pain if they do cut out. And yeah, okay, perfect. So that's all fine. So the backup, so right now the backup mics are all sorted, they're all charging. Okay, so that was lucky. This is why you need to always make sure, I don't even know if you guys can see me, to be fair, but yeah, this is why you need to always make sure that your batteries are charged. So I've just gone to check the second A66 battery and it's not fully charged, so we've just put that on charge now. Seeing as all the A6400 batteries are charged, we can put those straight into the bag. In the spirit of transparency, first things first, MacBook needs to come with us. That's another thing that I need to do as well. Need to check these SD cards. So make sure all the SD cards are going to be formatted, ready to be used. The one in the Ace, and the one that I'm recording on now, that was fine. I must got like 4 hours of recording footage on it. So all SD cards are formatted now. Spare SD cards are in there. I'll leave this 128 in here. Format completed, perfect. So that then takes that from 3 hours up to it goes from 3 hours to 4 hours 27 minutes. So spot on. So we'll leave that SD card in the camera. We'll put that first camera in the bag. 64 gig there. We've got the lenses that I'm using for today. So we've got the 50mm. Now, because the A66 and the A64 are crop sensitive cameras, they actually crop in at a 1.5 or 1.8x. I'm not too sure. So this 50mm ends up actually cropping into an 85mm. And then we've got the 18 to 105mm lens as well. Which is just your typical zoom lens, so we can just zoom in to pretty much the same focal length as the 50mm. So we've got both of those, so that's fine. So this bag is pretty much done. Just make sure we've got two, then we've got the third battery in there, perfect. So all the batteries are in there, that's fine. Laptop's in there, SD card there. Here's the other SD card. Now let's get the podcast stuff out now. We've got XLR cables. So we've got 2 XLR cables here. There's actually a third one in the bag as well, just in case. We've got the AKG headphones, power supply. So this is the mixer. You guys can see it. Zoom PodTrack P8. So all I'll do is flip that down, take the 64 gig SD card, slot that in. So that's done. That's ready to go now. We've got the AKG headphones for me to do the audio checks. We've got one, and we've got the 2 pod mics here as well, ready to roll. And that is that good to go. Right, now we need lighting. First bag. So this one carries all the mic stands and additional C-stand holders. This also goes in as well for me to catch behind the scenes phone stuff. So this goes in 2, and then this little adapter on the top can be rotated. Hold on a second. So that can be rotated, so I can put the phone horizontal or I can put the phone vertical, but I mainly just use this for vertical content, so reels and things like that. So that just stays like that. Look away. That just stays like that, really. Nice and easy. And that goes in this bag along with the mic arms. So there's 2 of those in there. We've also got a tripod, and we've got a small Gorilla phone as well. Right, and then we have got the lighting. So for this podcast, we only need, you can't really see me either, to be fair. I can guarantee a lot of this footage for this vlog is going to be me without my head in the shot. So for this podcast, a lot of the lighting that we need is mainly just softbox lighting, just to add that bit of brightness to the actual shot. So it's nothing major. So we've got 2 softboxes here. So I have to leave my house in the next hour, and I still need to shower and load up the car, as well as having a house that is filled with crazy kids. So, okay, right, boom. That's one light. So that's one. One light done. If you kind of know what you're doing with your setup, you don't really need to do the night before. But if you're completely new to this, I would 100% recommend you do all these checks the night before, because the last thing you want to be doing is an hour before your shoot is sat testing equipment, making sure it all works. Okay. There we go. So that all works. Now, and that's pretty much the equipment check done. Let's drop this down so it all goes in neatly. And so that's the equipment check done. So, yeah, lighting check. So that's lighting, that's C-stands and mic stands check. We can put that back down there, I don't need it. We've got audio equipment check. That's a bag for a tripod. We've got a camera one, both lenses, spare batteries, 2 spare batteries for that, the charger, a couple wires. Right now, we are pretty much done in regards to this setup, and making sure everything is done. I am now gonna sign off here, and I'm gonna go jump in the shower. Also, bonus, we have a meeting tomorrow for a potential new podcast client. So that will be a very good meeting, and it'll be interesting to find out what the podcast is about, the direction that they want to go in. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. That'll be a good little addition to the lineup and whatnot. So sweet, right? Anyway, I'm out. Peace. Okay, what is going on, people? So, we've just wrapped up the filming for Topic Tuesday, so I'm literally in the process of packing up now. Didn't really have time to show you the filming. We'll do a little speed up of me putting all this stuff away now. I've already put the tripod. No, I haven't. Put you on the tripod. The reason why we have it so bright in here is purely because, so on the first episode that we recorded, I tried to use all my, you don't see me. Yeah, so on the first episode that we recorded, I tried to use all my little tactics for recording and videography and filmmaking and things like that. And the footage actually ended up looking quite blue, so we have it nice and bright and white, so the natural light coming in doesn't affect the actual filming process, because when you've got natural light going up and down, you're gonna see it in the background. So when it's reflecting, because that's how you make your footage look good, you have to bounce light off things and do all this kind of madness. So when the light's bouncing around the room and it's hitting different things and you haven't got something to counteract that or counterbalance that, it's going to make it harder for you when you're actually editing it. So that's why we have the big light on. We have these two soft boxes which go on each guest. The big light at the top, which is quite bright. I'll turn it back on so we can see it, but when the big light's on, background, it brightens everything up. So again, there you go. You can see how that massively makes the room a lot brighter, especially when you got the two guests. The guest sat there, and another one, the host, Lucy, sat here. It just makes things a lot brighter. It's easy to edit. So yeah, and that's not even to say that I can't edit in that style, but for speed, because we work on speed, everything needs to be based on speed. So it needs to be, I need to be able to edit it quick, not be spending too much time faffing around with colours and things like that, and worrying about the background. I need to mask the background, but I can't be doing all of that because things need to be really quick. So yeah, what time are we on? Because as I said, we've got to go somewhere in 15 minutes, and I still need to pack all of this up, take it to the car, and then come straight back to where we are. Okay, so completely reset the room now. Just gonna drop my glass in the sink, and then I am done. Okay, what's going on, guys? So I'm back in the car. Couldn't really show you guys around what I was doing, but yeah, it's all looking good so far. Got some things getting sent to me. Exciting times, guys, exciting times. So just keep an eye on this space, because all I'm saying is prolific media to the fucking world. I'm back. It has been 4, maybe 5 hours since I last spoke to you guys. And I'm just about to jump on a call. So I'll let you guys in on what actually the call is about. So it's a potential new podcast client. And yeah, let's see what it is that they're after and how I can help them. And then I'll just give you guys an idea of what I've actually been up to since we last spoke. The person you're calling seems like she's on the phone at the minute, so we'll try and call her again in a little bit. So yeah, basically today it's just been crazy busy. Took the morning off, so I'm going to be working late tonight editing this podcast. Obviously, like I said to you guys, I will show you guys the editing process and how I actually do things in regards to the podcast, in order to be able to get a first draft back to the client within 24 hours. Here we go. Hey, how are you? I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. All right. So talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what your plan is, what your vision is.
Yeah, so I saw your page when I was looking. So I was supposed to do this podcast last year, to be fair, but for now it was more of like promo.
Podcast promotional content.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what's the podcast going to be about?
So it's like a girl talk kind of podcast, like all things girl talk, personal branding, kind of conversations. I used to have because I did radio for 2 years.
In regards to the podcast episode, so obviously I've got all the podcast equipment here, so mixers, mics, cameras, lights. I've got access to all of that kinds of stuff here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. In regards to like filming space, what kind of vibe was you thinking or feeling of going with in regards to that? Was you thinking more of you'll just record it at your house, or was you thinking, oh, actually let me record it at an actual studio space, or what was your?
I wanted to record it at a studio space, so because I'm in Birmingham, but that's what I was going to ask you.
But no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so just around the promotional content that you wanted to capture, what kind of vibe was you thinking of going with? Okay, if we did the one, what's the time frame for the podcast launch?
When am I going to launch it?
Yeah, when was you planning on launching the actual podcast?
March.
So
March is Women's Month.
Launch in March. Okay, Women's Month. Because the way that I help promote the podcast, we've been going for 3 months and we've done 4 million views. We've done over 4 million views.
It's great, but it's also horrible. People can be horrible.
Exactly.
I don't think I'm not too worried about that. I've built quite a wall against that.
And have you got any questions for me around podcast and things like that?
No, I think you've explained everything very well. I don't think there's a question that I have. You talked about the production of it. You talked about monetizing it and stuff like that. No, if I do think of anything, then I'll drop an email. But no, nothing I can think of right now. No.
There we go. You literally just witnessed me close a new podcast client, potentially, because nothing is ever closed until the deal is signed and the money is paid. But there we go. We are rolling. Oh, what is going on, people? So today is Friday, the 2nd of February. So yesterday you saw me do a client call. You saw the end of a podcast shoot. You saw me packing up to go to the podcast shoot. Couldn't show you the podcast shoot because obviously I had to set up and use the cameras for that. And then I couldn't show you the afterwards either. But today we've got another potential meeting with another potential podcast client today. So fingers crossed we bring that in and we close that up. And so right now I'm editing yesterday's podcast. So I've just done all the color grading and I was sat here and I was like, I'm meant to be recording this. Why am I not recording this? So here we are, recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera, readjust it, and bring you guys along on the editing process and kind of show you guys what it is that I have done. These are the show notes, the final show notes. So this is the checklist that I showed you yesterday. So you go through all the checks, make sure everything's done. Everything was done. Shoot went smoothly. We actually finished 20 to 30 minutes earlier than what was meant to. So that's what happens when you go through an actual checklist and everything is done and checked off and runs smoothly. So yeah, spot on. And this is even with me adding the extra bits in. I got into the studio about 5 to 10 minutes earlier. Started the setup process. Lucy and the guest showed up. Then they were in there. They even had time to go get drinks, go to the toilet, and come back. And we still managed to finish earlier than what the allotted time slot for the studio space was. And then below here, these are the show notes that I take during the podcast as well. So when it comes to then the first draft edit, I've got these initial edits that I can make alongside any cuts that I make as well. But I actually get, hang on a second, I'm tracking. So I actually get AI to help with the first cut. So let me spin you back around. So that's the current edit right now. So spin you around really quickly while to talk about this. So what I actually do is for the first draft, I do all the color grading. Zoom me out slightly. So yeah, as I was saying, for the first draft, I do all the color grading. I do the initial show cuts. Then I put it through AutoPod to do the first set of cuts for me. I then watch it through. And as I'm watching it through, I make additional cuts if need be. And just by doing that, it speeds up the whole entire process, because then I'm only watching it through once or twice from that point. So instead of an hour-long podcast taking 5-6 hours to edit, it's getting edited in 3-4 hours. So it's shaving time off. It may not seem like a lot of time, but like I said yesterday, it's speed with this, because these episodes go out at a set time, at a set day. They need to be done for that day. So, but literally by Tuesday, there'll be a full podcast, an audio podcast, the podcast promo, TikTok clips will all be done, and the thumbnails. So the thumbnail art which goes on Instagram, that'll be done, and the thumbnail art that goes on YouTube, that'll be done as well. There'll be 6 pieces of content done. Sweet. So that's the colors done. The next step is to go through these show notes and make the specific adjustments according to this. So, as I said to you yesterday, I base everything off of the audio. So the audio started at 4 minutes 35 seconds. Well, the show started at 4 minutes 35 seconds, which is exactly what's here, 4 minutes 35 seconds. Bang, this is exactly where it starts. So I know as long as that timing's right, we're well in with all of this. So it might be a few couple seconds out because it's not going to be exact. But I know, right, first one, 8 minutes 30 seconds, phone on silent, 15 minutes 20 seconds. There's a slight pause, so we'll potentially cut that out depending on if it seems awkward. Okay, so as you can see, we're at the desk, currently editing. We have got the show notes on the left-hand screen. We've got private potential project at the top. But so we've got the show notes on the left-hand screen. We've got timestamps on them. We've then got the actual podcast on the right-hand screen. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cut that pause out, just because if I cut it, it might come across unnatural. What I might do is I might try and shorten it so it's not as long. So what I'm thinking is I'll take this bit out, which is where she says then. Go to there. So that's short, that reduces that pause. If I take that out, so we've got the and it comes back in. So the pause isn't as long. There's the drilling point. So it's just a bit after the 29 minutes. 30 seconds off with that one, but this is why we watch back through. So what we can do with that one is we can actually we can cut that one there.
Yeah, it's not like the big.
Cut that one there as well, actually. So we can cut it at the end of where they say R, because it seems like that it carries on from there. So that's fine there. So that's that one done. So 33 minutes, 30 seconds, potentially remove about dad. So let's scroll along to the 33-minute mark. So that bit completely fine. I just had to go back in and check the audio lineup because it seemed like it was out slightly, but it was just lagging. So we're all right with that. This one we can leave in for now. 1 hour, 5 minutes now. And that is literally the end. So I'll do this 1 hour, 5 minute edit, and then I will then put together all of the clips. So I'll put all the clips together, make sure the audio's flowing seamlessly, the sentence is flowing seamlessly, there's no issues. Then, okay guys, we're back. So we're now we've let AI do its thing. It's cut the whole podcast up for us. So I don't know if you can see all these cuts, but this is basically been cut now. I'll show you on this bit here.
I think this is actually a bit.
You can see that's been cut.
Honestly, like, this is how I'm gonna look at this. This is very.
So that's all been cut now. What I am now doing is going back through these cuts and just making sure, especially at the start, that the bits that haven't been cut over that need to be cut, i.e. like this bit here. So there was the introduction bit which wasn't cut, which is now cut. So that's now done. So we've got that cut there. We've also got this bit here.
I'm excited. I'm nervous.
We've got this bit here that needs to be cut as well. So we just come into here, cut from there to there, and then check this bit. And then we'll cut from there to there as well. And then what we do is, because the way I've set up the cut is for enable, disable. So all I need to do is just unlink the footage and the video, and then I go in and enable. For some reason, if you leave them linked and then enable it, it disables the audio. So that's why I do it that way. And then we need to do the same for this bit here. Unlink and then enable. And then this first bit should be perfect. Okay, guys, so the podcast is all done. So we're going to save that before we actually close it. We've uploaded it into the Google Drive, which is ready for review. So that's done. The next task that I need to do today is the client that we potentially, because nothing's ever 100% salary delivered until payments made. We need to put together the agreement for the content shoot, and then such a lonely day, such a lonely day, and it's mine, loneliest day of my life. Such a lonely day, should be banned. The day that I can't stand, the most loneliest day of my life. So far today, the 1 o'clock meeting that we were meant to have cancelled. So that's been rescheduled. So I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. We have sent off the contract for the new content shoot that we did a call with yesterday, and the invoice. So we'll just wait for that to come back. So that's literally just been sent now. And now it's time to create some content for social media because it's needed. So yeah, but anyway, this is going to be the last video of the vlog now, because I need to edit this and then it needs to go out tomorrow. So I will see you all next week. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen this week, what I've brought you along on, what you viewed, then stay tuned. There's more to come. Peace.